Okay. So it's so difficult to make one of these type of videos because you don't really know what kind of reception you're going to get and what people are going to think. Just by the title and thumbnail, I don't want to come off as like I'm begging or I'm asking for anything, or that it's really hard to make. So this kind of video is kind of like just an inside mindset of what I'm going through right now when it goes to be like a YouTuber. And a lot of you may understand this and a lot of you may not understand this. It just depends on like where you are at. If you're just like a viewer and a commenter and you don't make YouTube videos, you might not understand what goes into the day-to-day life of a full-time YouTuber. Now, sure, I do other things in my ventures. I film weddings. I am working on a documentary, currently still working on the Marks documentary. I am also, I do commercials. I run a wrestling promotion, all this fun stuff. But there's just like this day-to-day mindset that is very consuming when it comes to YouTube because you're never good enough. And let me kind of explain this, because this is like this mindset that I've been in, and I've kind of just thought to myself that like this is not a good mindset to have, and it's actually like spiraling me downward. And I don't understand it because this is supposed to be like the best time for my channel because of the new video game, and then it's just at a point where like I don't understand, like I don't know. Again, it's not like self-pity, it's not like please help me, it's just to get my thoughts out of my head, because if I don't get my thoughts out of my head, it is going to consume me and it is going to eat me alive. And that's just, it happens all the time. Like I just sit here and I think. Even like yesterday I was at church and you know we were sitting there was music, singing, all this stuff, and then like preaching, and then I was just sitting there like I was just consumed by YouTube. I was like, what's the next video I can make? What's the video I can do that can help my channel out? What can help me grow? Because I feel like I'm stuck at a certain point. Because when you get to a certain point on YouTube, some people may consider like my channel a big channel, but I don't. I consider it still a small channel. Even smaller channels, you know, like 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers, all the way below 100,000, people still consider like small channels. But I consider if you don't even have like 200,000 to 500,000, you're still a small channel. I consider like medium size 500,000, and that's weird. And then huge is like 1,000,000 plus, and then even bigger than that is like in the tens of millions, which I don't even get like how you get that many people to watch your content. But I mean, here's like one of the things that consumes me in my day-to-day life is like I upload a video and I don't do anything different than I did in the last video, and it doesn't get any views. Like it doesn't get as many views as what I just did, and I don't get it. It's like I did the same type of video last week. Maybe it was a title, maybe it was a thumbnail that didn't work, maybe whatever, and it gets a lot of dislikes, and I just don't understand. I mean, like I get it that it's not the content that you want to watch or whatever, and that's just something that comes with the territory. It's like not every video that I'm going to put out everybody's going to want to watch and everybody's going to like, and there's only so many hours in the day, and I get that. And it's a tough thing to wrestle with every day. It's because like there's other YouTubers that are in my same niche, the wrestling community YouTubers that do the video game stuff, and they will do like I'll watch their video and I will say that my video isn't any less better than theirs is. I'm not saying that my video is better than theirs, but I will say that my video is not any less better than theirs. And yet their video gets 10,000 views where my video gets 2,000 views, and it's just one of those things that like eats me alive. And it's not a thing that should be good. I shouldn't be playing the numbers game and watching what other YouTubers are doing and figure out why this isn't working, why this is working, and what's going on. I mean, as far as like a businessman and a strategy goes, like I need to figure out what's going to work for my channel, what's going to make it most frugal and most positive. But again, you can't just like look and see what everyone else is. This is the dilemma I have here, because do I want to look at what other people are doing and try and replicate that? Do I want to do my own thing, or do I want to try and put both of them together, where it's kind of like a mix of what someone else is doing versus like my own personality, but like mashed together. And that's where the tough comes. Like, it is just so stressful running a YouTube channel, and you probably don't even get it. You're probably like, you just play video games and that's it. Like, for instance, my dog is barking. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, just like in this tiny apartment, and you wouldn't even know it because I put up the backdrop. And I live with my girlfriend, which I love, and we're coming up on a year. And that's why, like, this is such like a crazy time, because it's like my life is awesome. Like, I love my girlfriend, I love my life. It's just like when it comes to YouTube, it consumes me. It literally eats me alive. It's like there is so much on my mind with YouTube. Like, I never shut it off. When you're like a YouTuber and you do it full time for a living, like, you just constantly think of like, what can I make that will get people talking? What can I make that my audience will enjoy? What can I make that will that everyone will love? It's such like a weird mindset that you get in when you start making YouTube videos, and you see it a lot with like bigger YouTubers, even like a Joey Salads, right? I don't really talk about YouTube controversy too much, but you got a guy like him who's making fake pranks so that he can get views, because he's like addicted. He is addicted to having views, and if he doesn't get the views, like, it just is not enough for him. It's a very dangerous thing here. Like, nobody tells you when you get into YouTube like what it's going to be like how it is going to affect your psyche. Like, I wish that somebody could sit down and make this type of video before I got in and said, "Hey, watch this video." And even back then, I probably would have been like, "Yeah, right, I'll still do it anyway because no one can tell me what to do." But it becomes like a mental game here where it's like I constantly look at the stats and I constantly look to say, "Wow, am I good enough? Is this something I continue to do full time? Is this, or should I go get a 9 to 5 job working at a shitty grocery store, or what should I do?" And it always comes to that age old question, like, what happens when YouTube falls off? What happens when you get old? No one wants to watch anyone when they're old. Well, that's hopefully when I can build like a brand or an empire or whatever. It might sound silly, but my dream is to build something bigger than just Tony Pizza Guy. Because if I was playing a game and all I was a Tony Pizza Guy, which was Anthony Douglas right here, if that was all that it was, if this was all that I had, like, I get injured, I get hurt, that's taken away. I can't make these videos anymore. That's it. Like, I'm done. Like, take of like a PewDiePie, right? If he got hurt, got terminally ill, yeah, he'd have a lot of money. He'd sure be fine, but his brain would be done. Like, it is his face on this. It's like his personality is why you love watching. Like, if you are a fan of PewDiePie, like, that is it. Like, if he goes away, like, nobody cares anymore. Like, that is it. And his income stops. Like, sure, people watch his old videos. Sure, he probably saved a bunch of money. But it's just like, it is gone. And that's the scary thought. It just gets very, very stressful, like, running a YouTube channel, because there's no, like when you work at a job, right? Your job goal is to get a promotion or better yourself to get to the next part. If you really like what you do, if you started as like someone on the bottom, like, let's say, just for example, I'm going back to the grocery store. You work at a grocery store, you become a cashier, right? You really love working at a grocery store. You've always loved like the ins and outs of it. I'm just relating because this is something that I did. Just worked at a grocery store when I was younger, like 16 or whatever, first job. So when you work at a grocery store and you eventually want to like work your way up, become a manager, maybe you really like the meat department, or customer service is your big thing, or whatever it may be, like cake department, cake decorating, bakery, whatever. You want to be a baker, right? So you started at the bottom. Eventually want to figure out, how can I get my way up to where I want to go? So you have to do X amount of things to get to where you want to go. You got to go X, and you got to keep advancing so you can get to that next level. Problem is, with YouTube, there is no next level. Sure, there's numbers you can hit, there's stats you can do, there's things you can try and reach to like mental goals, like just goals for myself, but it just doesn't ever really change. It doesn't ever, like, yeah, I want to make this type of video or this type of thing, but then like it never really makes a difference. Like, it's just a different game, or it's just a different type of video. It's not really like I'm progressing as a person. And it's like I want to start adding more content. Like I wanted to start including my face on camera more. I started to do more editing, and then like when that just doesn't pay off, like you do this video and it doesn't get numbers, you have to think to yourself, is this something that I should continue? Or you upload a video and it gets a lot of thumbs down, and you just wonder, is this something that my audience even wants? And then you get comments like clickbait and stuff like that. Like, I get it, like it's not enjoyable, or you're expecting something and it's not something, but these aren't practices that like that I have done, that I haven't seen other popular YouTubers do, but yet some people get scrutinized over other people. Like that's the mindset, like that's the dilemma I have in here. It's like such a huge mental no. And now you're probably going to say like, yeah, there's tons of positive comments. Like there's a lot of positive feedback. You get it on Twitter, you get on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. People comment saying, yeah, we like your video, cool stuff, whatever, that's fun. They comment about the video, whatever it is. But then there's like always that like one comment, or like that one guy who's like he's like out to ruin your day. And my dog again, just a dilemma, wants to go outside. Got to take him outside after this. But you just get that like one guy who just wants to like say mean things, and it just eats you alive. It really does. It's like, I feel like my Twitter interaction, like with my fans on Twitter and like the growth I saw on Twitter, like I wish I could capture that, whatever magic is there, and bring it over to YouTube, because I feel like even with only 10,000, how many followers? I almost have 20,000 Twitter followers. So I wish what I had on Twitter I could capture on YouTube, because I feel like even though I only have 18,000 Twitter followers, almost 20,000 Twitter followers, I feel like that number is a lot stronger as far as like it's weird because I looked at like impressions the other day, and what impressions are is like the amount of times your stuff is seen a month. And like over on Twitter, I have like a million impressions a month. So it's like a million people or a million views, a million eyes or a million scrolls or whatever it is on Twitter are happening. And like that's just on par like YouTube. So it's like the biggest problem that I have is that I get lost in my mind, and like you will never ever 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 understand it until you make YouTube videos, because it never shuts off. It's always a constant battle. It's always just in my head. And like again, I really don't have anywhere that I was going with this video other than the fact that I just need to get this off of my chest and out into the open, because it's eating me alive. Like I said, I have been fortunate enough to do this for several amount of years, and I've been fortunate enough to make a living at it where I can, successfully support myself. It's just getting to a time where, like, mentally, the pain is like, it is wrenching inside of me. Like, I don't know how to self-help myself to make myself feel better. Like, I love my girlfriend, and she is like my rock and my support system. Like, I would not be able to do this without her. But like even her, like I talked to her about YouTube stuff, and she's like, I could see why you could be depressed. Like you sit in a room all day and make videos, and then you see people comment on you, and then like you work hard on a video, and like people just don't care, or like they hate it, or sometimes they do like it, but then you see one comment and then it just ruins your entire day. Like I put up a lot of really good videos that people really like, but then like there's that one comment, like even if it's not like a big deal, like there's like 1,000, let's say there's 1,000 great comments and one bad comment. I always see that one bad comment over the 1,000 great ones, and it just kills me. Like this is where I'm at, and I mean I have to go let my dog out because otherwise that would be animal abuse. But this is where I'm at, like just mentally like unsure of what is like happening right now. Like I don't know. I guess I need to just like there's like something I need to do that will clear my mind. Like I want to make like just a really great video, but I don't know, like, I don't know. It's like, do you want comedy? Should I do more my career? Like, I don't know. I've niched myself in like a box, and then I compare myself to other YouTubers. Like, I'm in a wrestling box, right? Because if I upload anything else other than wrestling, most of you guys don't care. You only want to see wrestling stuff. Um, and like I'm creatively, like, mind is flowing, like I want to do stuff, but it's like, man, are people gonna care? Do people even care anymore? Like, is this like something that people care about? And that's the mindset I have every day. I mean, the only thing that really, like, truly saves me and makes me, like, helps me get through my day is like knowing that, like, I just make the videos. I have like some great friends on YouTube that I met that I, like Tubby Emu, CM Pulse, James Darnell, um, Dank Ops is great, Willpower, Luigi, Not As Fan. Like, the list goes on and on. There's like, we have like a Twitter chat with like 12 people in them, and like I can't name all of them, but it's just like the ones that I am close with. Like James Darnell is probably the closest. Tubby Emu I've been friends with forever. Um, Smalls, who I don't talk to daily, but he's still a guy that I love talking to and love picking his brain about business and stuff like that. So, I mean, that helps me. And then also, like, my girlfriend being like amazing, and like she understands what I do. At first she didn't, but now she understands it. And then, like, just being able to, like, because I can never like shut it off. Like last night I was just like up, like I want to do more YouTube stuff, but then I'm just like, my girlfriend's like, can we just go to bed? Like, we just need to go to bed. We need to shut it off. So I'm gonna shut it off now. I'm gonna go take the dogs out, read the feedback on the comments. Hopefully people don't destroy me, and I'm not even gonna put a thumbnail. I'm just gonna leave it as a default thumbnail, and see what kind of response this gets. So anyway, guys, we'll leave it here. Again, wasn't like, whoa, feel sorry for me, or like, it was just more like, if I don't get this out, if I don't express my feelings, like, I am going to be eaten alive. And it's like more of like a therapeutic thing where I need to talk about this, because it's like just one of those things where, like, I don't think you understand until you are a YouTuber and you make content all the time. So we'll leave it at this. Thanks for watching. Really, sincerely, like 100%. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Thank you for continuing to tune in. Hopefully, I can get back on my schedule, because that's another thing I want to do. 10, 2, and 6 every day. I feel like I've fallen off, but you know what? It's kind of this little depression. Not so much a depression, but like a funk, I guess you would say, that I'm in. So anyway, thank you again. I'll end it here. I'll stop rambling.